Hi, welcome, and today we will be learning what a vector is. Firstly, let's get Vector to tell you what a vector really is. Take a look.
Vector! That's me, because I'm committing crimes with both direction and magnitude. Oh yeah!
Alright, so direction and magnitude. Firstly, direction. Direction is any sort of pathway into a certain area. This arrow is pointed right, so this direction will be a right direction. Direction could also be somewhat like a compass. It can be from all sides, north, south, east, and west. Direction could also be upwards and downwards. Basically, direction is anything with a certain area of language. So if I say right, it is a direction. If I say up or down, it is a direction. If I say north, it is a direction. Basically, a vector needs to have this component. Now, the second thing Vector talked about was magnitude. What is magnitude? If I have an arrow this way that is pointing to the right, magnitude would be the length of the arrow. Let's say this is 0 meters, and let's say the end, it is 10 meters. The magnitude of this is 10 meters total. Every vector needs to have magnitude and a direction. This could be 10 meters in total, but with no direction, it is not a vector. This has a direction going right 10 meters. This is a vector. So a vector needs to have both direction and magnitude. Yeah, so the first thing you have to know about vectors is displacement. Displacement is the total change in position. Now, let's say I have position A going to position B. Let's say this starts at 0, this starts at 10, we'll say meters. Therefore, from A to B, the total displacement is 10 meters. Now, if I walk to point B, and then I turn back around halfway. Because I went 10 meters that way, but then I go back 5 meters, it would be 10 meters minus 5 meters. So then this and this would equal 5 meters of displacement. Displacement is the total change in position. If I go forward, I will add. If I go backwards, I will minus. Therefore, if I move forward 10 meters and then I turn back 5 meters, my total change in position is 5 meters. Okay, secondly, velocity. The reason we learn displacement before velocity is because you need displacement to find velocity. Now, I will use the same example as last time. Point A to point B, 0 meters, 10 meters, and I walk back 5 meters. What is my displacement? As we said, 10 meters there minus 5 meters. Total position change is equal to 5 meters. Now, that's displacement. To get velocity, we also have to add a time. Let's say it takes me 15 total seconds to walk 10 meters and 5 meters back. So it takes me 15 seconds. Now, to find velocity, the equation is the displacement divided by the time. That's why we need time. So, D equals 5 meters, the time 15 seconds, therefore the velocity, I'll just erase this, 5 meters divided by 15 seconds, 3, and now for the units, meters above second, so it will be 3 meters per second, and now that is how you get velocity. Velocity is displacement over time. Okay, so let's walk through some practice questions. I'm David, so let's use me as an example. Let's say I walk from west to east, and I walk a total of 15 meters starting from 0. So my starting position, this time west, will be 0 meters. My total position is 15 meters, so I stop at 15 meters. my displacement would be the total change in position, which is 15 meters. Now, let's say I dropped something. So I have to walk back 5 meters. If I walk forward 15 and back 5, how do I get total displacement? 15 meters minus 5 meters will equal 10 meters. That is my displacement. Now, let's say it takes me 20 seconds to fully walk 15 meters there and 5 meters back. My displacement is 10 meters. If we remember, velocity's equation is displacement over time. My displacement, 10 meters. My time, 20 seconds. Therefore, my total velocity is 0.5 meters per second. And we should note this is going which way? East. So I am going 0.5 meters per second towards the east. Remember, direction and magnitude. Now, what if instead of going left to right or west to east, what if we go up to down? So let's say I have a box, and let's say I lift it up to here. We'll call that 5 meters. But let's say the box drops and I have to catch it after it fell. We'll go 2 meters. It fell 2 meters. How do I get my total displacement? Well, remember, displacement, it goes up. Up is positive in this sense, so it will be plus 5. But then it comes down, which is negative 2. Therefore, 5 minus 2 equals 3 meters. That is my displacement. Now, let's say it takes, we'll give it a modest 6 seconds for me to lift it up and then drop it down. It takes me 6 seconds. 3 meters is my displacement. Always remember, V equals D over T. D is 3 meters. Time is 6 seconds. Again, it is going to be 0.5 meters per second. And this time, instead of left or right or west or east, it's going upwards. So this is my total answer. It's going up. You could also say north. I chose up for this, but always remember direction and magnitude. Well, if you want to know what a vector is, you should also know what a scalar unit is. Scalar units are the exact opposites of a, well, vector. They don't have a direction. So we talked about how velocity is a vector, but speed is not a vector. It is not, it's a scalar unit. Why? Because speed, you could just say it is miles per hour, or you could say kilometers per hour, or you could say 55 horsepower. I don't know. It could be any unit. However, what's it missing? It's missing a magnitude and direction. So you can never really tell by speed what a certain direction it's going. It could be going east, it could be going west, it could be going up, down. You never know. It's not specified. That's why we call it a scalar unit. For velocity, you have to make sure you include the direction. So yeah, that's just a small detour. But that is what a scalar is. A scalar is neither a magnitude nor a direction. Yeah, this was a short lesson on what a vector was. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments. Short lesson on what a vector was. Next video. Enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments, and I will try to answer them. What is a video? But this is Intro to Physics. What is a